Hello, my name is Brock Bunch, and this is my A Student Might, a Teacher Should, Part 4 for MSIT 4305, Classroom Management at UCA, taught by Professor Ward. Our objective was to create a scenario in which the teacher, me, would have to deal with a student who had broken a rule or acted out. This is so that we would understand how to handle the situation better. I was to come up with an appropriate and inappropriate response to the situation. We were then supposed to consult currently active teachers and ask for their response to the scenario, and to compare with my original thoughts. So let's move on to the dilemma. There's only a week left before winter break. Even though that's the case, you still have to deliver a quiz on the last day before they get out. You call on one of the students you usually choose and ask, "John, what's the answer to number 4? John looks at you and screams, "Shut up! No one cares about this stupid stuff." Shock fills the room at this unexpected event. What do you do? For an ineffective response to John's outburst, I said I would yell back at him in front of the class. I would yell something like, "Who do you think you are? Get out of here right now!" But to effectively handle the situation, I believed it was a good idea to take John out in the hall so that he could tell me what was going on in private and without an audience. I would say something like, "John, what's going on? I know you, and you know this is not how you are to act in my classroom." When sending out the scenario to the active teachers, I wanted a wide variety, so the responses I received were from teachers of different generations. One's about to turn 55, another 36, and the last 24. But surprisingly, they each responded in line with one another. The ineffective thing to do would be to react with my emotion. You are the teacher, and it's my job to handle any situation thrown at me. I also don't need to have the conversation when an audience is present. That way no peer pressure is on John when he is confronted. What should be done is to send John into the hall and follow him out. Give him a good chance to explain himself, or to let him know what's going on in his life. If he needs it, ask if he would feel better speaking to the counselor as well. But no matter what the reason is, you have to let him know that because he decided to act this way, there is consequences for his actions. Because he disobeyed the procedures you had in place since the beginning of the year, and have enforced them when necessary, send John to the office and wait for you till the end of class. This will keep the interruption to a minimum, and you can get back to the lesson as well as show that you enforce the rules in your classroom and don't just have them for show. At the end of class, write a pink slip up and take it to the office. If John asks to see the counselor, then stop by with John and tell them the situation. Ask John if he wants you to be there or not. This is his situation, so he's the decision maker. Just to let him know that if he needs someone to talk to, you are always available. Although me and the teachers both removed John from the classroom, we did it for two completely different reasons. I removed John for the benefit of the students in the class and to make it easier dealing with the situation for myself. But the teachers removed John to help all involved. Not only did removing John from the class prevent escalation of the situation, but it also gave me, a teacher, a moment to calm down and breathe. That way I wouldn't react based on my emotion, but by my management training. If you didn't enforce the rules, the other students would see that you don't care about John or his behavior, which could cause others to feel that they could get away with doing the same thing. But by enforcing the procedures put in place at the beginning of the year, it also lets the class know that that kind of behavior will not be tolerated in your class. This will prevent students from acting out like John in the future. What you also earn from all your students is respect for handling the situation properly. John will respect you more because you didn't embarrass him in front of the class and gave him a chance to explain himself outside. And the other students will also notice this and know that you are not a teacher that acts out with emotion and cruelty. This can further strengthen rapport with your students, letting them know you won't mistreat them even when they make a mistake. The way this scenario played out goes along with two famous education theorists, that is Richard Kerwin and Alan Mender. Kerwin learned his classroom management when teaching 7th grade boys who were uncontrollable. This led to him specializing in classroom management. Miller served as a school psychologist for students and teachers at all levels. These two theorists came together and wrote a book called Discipline with Dignity. In the book, they suggest that in all circumstances, interact with students in a manner that preserves their dignity. And responsibility, not obedience, is the goal of discipline. That's why you tell John that it was his decision to act out that resulted in him being sent to the office, making it the result of the student's choice and not the actions of the teacher. The goal of correctly handling situations is to build a mutual respect between you as the teacher and your students. And by doing so, you provide a place where students know you care about them as individuals, making the flow of the classroom and the lessons easier to get across to the students. My name is Brock Bunch, and this was A Student Might, A Teacher Should, Part 4. Thank you.